Hi, Sabina. Hello.
Oh, my loves. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, loves.
Hello, sweet Sabina. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
I can hear you. I can see you. I can see Sandra as well.
Hi.
Hi, sweet one.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh,
I'm in the hammock today.
I'm on the back porch. It's
Oh.
50 in Alaska. It's amazing.
oh my gosh. Oh,
Wow.
Sabina, can I say hi to Sandra? Does she hear me?
Please don't ask. Do it.
I didn't know if she could hear.
Yes.
Hi, Sandra.
So today is a day of deep receptivity. So allowing ourselves to become permeable to this language of light. Because it feels clear that that's what we're all speaking. And we do our best to put this into words, and the words carry these pointers to light. And as we create this space together, we can feel how the light becomes amplified. It's dancing and shimmering and reflecting off of one another. In this sacred, sacred space where we invite the animals in as they help us remember our native tongue, so to speak. So just breathing into the very depths of your own being. And allowing your body as a vessel to feel directly, to perceive directly. And with this direct perceiving, what needs to be known is known. What needs to be awakened, awakens. So there's a relaxation. In that trust, that same trust that brought us all together here. So breathing your own beautiful blossoming in and out as an offering. And let's call in the animal beings and invoke their names and feel the vibrations of their emerging more fully into our space. You can mute or unmute yourself and speak their names out. It's all one language of light. Omar, Yoshi, Teddy, Khalil, Taz, Travis, Lulu, Isabella, Gisela, Ash, Mag, Colors, Unity, Omega, Emma, the entire equine collective of light. Spidey, the wild ones in the desert, the rainforests, safari plains, jungles.
Pinky, Butchie, Little Mama,
Galen, Shadow, Kuvi, William, Olani. Whimsy, Snailing, all the insect beings, the reptiles, the marsupials, the winged ones, Gus, just feeling them all coming, flooding in like moths to the flame that's kindled in our heart. We ripple out these currents of light, wider than ourselves, wider than this circle, encompassing beyond our imagination, beyond what we can conceive. And we breathe in this awe, stretching ourselves, expanding ourselves with each breath, releasing with each out breath. Today we reflect upon the transmissions that have come through on this facet of the diamond, which we call self-worth, and the animal's alive, direct experience of what that is. The simplicity and the glory of what that is. When we allow the veils that have been concocted and constructed to start to dissolve. We dissolve those veils just by seeing together with amplified light. And if you can think back of even who you were the first time you came here into this space, you know, it's really awesome to just reflect back on that energy system that you witnessed when you began to tune in into this alchemical field of messages, and we began to explore the labyrinth of the human collective of self-worth and the transformation of it, setting it free again. And honoring really who you are right now. Meeting yourself not from the old, but from the freshness of right now. And so in this moment, I would like to read the transmissions in full from the whole month. And that's a lot. That's a lot to take in on one hand. And on another hand, it's not when you open the cells of your very being. They know how to absorb light, and whatever's needed will be received, and you can let go whatever's not. So this is not a mental practice of attention. It's a practice of direct experience. So let's bring in the first message. Now, as I look at the clock, it's 1:11 here, and we'll read the messages at 1:11, California time. We are all one, global time. All right, so as I tuned in, I'll make it present tense. As I tune in to the vast and free consciousness of the animals. So as we all tune in right now to the vast and free consciousness of the animals on the topic self-worth, my belly is filled with deep, deep laughter. I feel a lightness in the waves of roaring laughter and an intensity. The laughter is not meant to ridicule, to be ridicule cast at us humans. It's a roaring laughter, breaking through, rumbling and vibrating and breaking apart old paradigms. Breaking apart old paradigms that humans have been trapped in, but no longer need to be trapped in. And so the laughter roars. Can you hear it? Feel it. Shaking the ground that has once been built by the human collective as solid. Just feel those vibrations of the whole animal collective laughing as an alchemical laughter, shaking the ground of something many thought was solid, creating a new foundation of true self-worth. As the sandcastles dissolve into the sea of tears of laughter. They then show me visions of saddle blankets and shiny tack. And they say, look, 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 with laser beam looking. Look at what humans have used to build and measure and reflect back to them, this made-up fabrication of self-worth. Just feel that laughter. Again, not laughter as a ridicule, laughter as an alchemical force that lightens and shakes and cracks and brings light through. They show me visions of bird cages and then flashes of fancy suburban homes. They show me a bowl of birdseed and the different bowls bought from high-end, middle-end, and low-end retail stores that the seeds are placed and displayed in, and they are giggling. Look, 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 with the light of your soul, shine a bright light upon your intricate and exuberantly creative measures of self-worth. They show me agility, obstacle courses, and high jumps, and other athletic feats. And puzzles solved, and tiny dog sweaters, and travel on carry-on bags, and accomplishments attained, and accomplishments never reached, and accomplishments dangling to be reached, and doings and buyings and wearings and paper stamped with green ink. And then this message from Owl. You have been looking to build self-worth in all the wrong places. You have been assessing self-worth through pathways that are transitory and in the ultimate reality, not even real. You've been looking in sandcastles that melt away, in self-combusting machines and highly intellectual inventions, and then without any awareness at all, just by compulsive conditioning, you derive your self-worth from these transitory images, mirages. No wonder you feel fragmented and less than. So we can see the whole human collective from these eyes of the animals as they see our creativity and the illusory means which we as a human collective have tendencies to create and measure. But Owl says, look deeper, which is what we are all doing right here and now. Look deeper. And breathe in the worthiness of a star. Feel that in your body. Breathe in the worthiness of a star. In the night sky, or the night sky's worthiness. Feel that night sky in your belly. Again, directly perceiving in your belly the night sky as an experience. Feel the stars in the synapses of your solar plexus. You will never feel less than again. You will realize and become melted into the worth of all that is. Travis says, when are you enough? Now. How are you enough? As you are right now. Enough can only be experienced here and now. Why are you enough? I am that I am. So we breathe in these transmissions, not clinging to them as something we need to remember, but breathing them in right now as an awakening. Once awakened, never goes back to sleep. And Duck came forth and said, and says and transmits to feel and fully embody your inherent worthiness. You must learn to receive fully self-worth as a gift, inherent in each breath. Self-worth as a gift, inherent in each breath. I don't want her biting the hammock, so I just am reminding her not to get too carried away. But if you don't fully receive this gift in each breath, you simply won't feel this embodied worthiness. So as you glide along the surface of the complexities of life, receive. Dive deeper into fully receiving the iridescence of atmospheric light through the portals of the cells of your skin. Receive through the crown of your head the permeable ultraviolet light nourishing your subtle body. You're always being offered this gift of worthiness. It is a gift of grace inherent with each breath. Simply remember how to receive this unseen gift of grace, breath by breath. So we do this now as one circulation of breath. Allowing the crown of your head to be fed by light. Allowing the cells of your entire vessel, of your skin, to receive iridescent rainbow light. Every hue, every color, iridescence itself, nourishing, breathing through the portal of your skin. And the breath itself, circulating life as a flow of receiving and involuntarily giving and involuntarily receiving as one circulation. Mouse comes in and says, I am so small, and my worthiness is born from fierce surrender, born from my full allowing of my littleness to be swallowed up by the bigness of the whole, where I am bigger than big and smaller than small, and there is nothing but worthiness here. And remembering Willow's storytelling of jumping mouse, little jumping mouse. The surrender, the fierce surrender that mouse went through with each encounter. Jumping mouse met herself and said yes. And any illusion of littleness sprouted wings and became the vast sky. This is our journey that the animals are calling us to say yes to. We've all said yes. So breathing in that fierce surrender and the inherent worthiness that rides upon those waves of surrender. And Khalil says, clarity of perception or true in the moment reality is the lifeline to knowing worthiness. So the lifeline to fully, directly, in the body, knowing worthiness is in the moment, direct perception. Distorted perceiving, intertwined with projections of wounds, of upheld identities, of fear-derived expectations. These are lifelines to the illusion of worthlessness. We stay anchored to the now, free and clear of distortion and held by the flow of the entire universe and beyond. Anchor yourself to reality here and now and realize worthiness. So looking and examining which lifeline you are choosing moment to moment. Is it a lifeline of bolstering up fragments to feel better, or unifying them right in the moment? Allowing them, all those parts of ourselves, to be unified in the power of now. With clear seeing and noticing when the distortions come in, softening towards them, not resisting, but seeing them for what they are, lifelines to the illusion of worthlessness. And then this very moment that we clearly breathe together is a lifeline to innate worthiness, to knowing this directly, without confusion. So this power of now, this phrase that has wafted through the currents of the human collective is real. The animals live there. And from Hawk, this powerful message. In your aloneness, Hawk notices that we feel so small. so unworthy, so isolated. In our aloneness, we feel all oneness, so vast, so unified, so worthy. So the courage to dive into aloneness so deeply, that intimacy with all becomes the truth. From this all oneness, worthiness simply overflows, nourishes, replenishes itself. B was so kind to come in and say, you've been learning how to give. The energy of giving is ever evolving in the human collective. We notice the vibrations of the gifts that you give, often coming from an unconscious buzzing of unworthiness, tied with a bow of identification, with this looming feeling of worthlessness, wanting so deeply to be reflected back to yourself as worthiness. So you can just for a moment feel better about yourself. We're wrapping these ways of being in golden liquid love. Often humans reaching out to help one another is an unconscious act of overcompensating for the parts of you stuck in believing in your buried feelings of worthlessness. Again, we are weaving honey-like awareness of compassion around this hornet hive, for this type of helping is polluted. And of course, it feels depleting because it comes from a limited source of an unconscious identity of inadequacy, trying to prove itself wrong. But you know another pure way to give gifts. You do. You know how to offer help, simply to overflow your honey in service to the whole. There's an unlimited hive of light, a source within to draw from, of unlimited worthiness, simply from the beingness that you are a child of the universe. You are her breath, her body. Her beingness overflows through you. Giving by simply exhaling pure light through you without depletion. And limitlessly inhaling pure light, or receiving as one circulation of infinity. B's message of our innate ability of creating honey within and simply overflowing, where there's enough for all and all for one. Beginning to feel ourselves as this child of the universe. As Taz shares her message on this facet of discovering, rediscovering, reawakening worthiness, true worthiness. Taz asks us, who is your mother? And we can also, as Julie pointed out, say, who is your father? I know you learned so much about what worthiness feels like and how it's rewarded, and what unworthiness feels like and how it's belittled. But just notice something. When you let go of the solidified identity that you are the son or the daughter of, fill in your mother and father's name on the dotted line, and with my velveteen muzzle, I will shred it up for you. And yes, Taz really did. As I was writing, she took the piece of paper and grabbed it in her mouth. Didn't you, Taz? Yeah. She's right here. Please don't get me wrong. We honor our earthly formed mothers and fathers, as does your heart. And we have no attachment to her, to them, as an identity of who we are. In this soft, open, non-clinging, we're free to be worthiness embodied. Perhaps this was our earthly mother's greatest gift. Her imprint in us. The freedom to be worthiness. So I ask you, who is your mother? A child of eternity, I am. A child of eternity, you are. Am I? I am. Chameleon's reflection is, allow your skin to be semi-permeable to light once again, like we do. This will change everything. When you ask yourself the question of self-worth, you will hear and know the answer of light itself. So let's pause and test this out within. Allowing your skin to become so very permeable to the light. And in this replenishing and receptivity of light, that language of light is spoken more clearly and more directly. And if you were in the midst of this light, this circulation of light, to feel worthiness within you, light answers back. Notice what that feels like. in you. We can share about that in our dialogue. What that feels like. Yoshi is having so much fun. She's just rubbing her muzzle against all the folds in the hammock, and she's vibrating the entire hammock that I'm lying on. It's really funny. Mm. And then Travis on self-worth. He closed our transmission last week with this message. Travis is the wise one. He's out in the shade. He's all black, and he disappeared into the shade. He says, you are confused by your identification with a separate self. There is the truest quantum field of light, where there is no separate anything. Nothing, no thing in this field of truth is separate from another. So ask yourself and be discerning when you are searching for self-worth. Is your search for something true or something less than true? Is your reference point for your searching your separate self, or is it the all one self? So looking within now and feeling what those reference points feel like. Just feeling the vibration of a separate self as a reference point, as a way of navigating, some way of discovering who you are. It's some way of measuring and knowing worthiness. And then feeling into that quantum field that's holding you and that is you, where nothing is separate. And using this as a reference point. Feeling directly in your body. So bowing in reverence to these animal beings who came forth. Owl, duck, hawk, chameleon, bee, horse, self, mouse, we bow in reverence, awe, and allow the alchemy period. Allow the alchemy. So let's begin a gentle transition now as we continue to bathe in light and receive one another's transmissions and sharings. If there's anything that your voice would like to voice, just check in and allow. Just unmute yourself and feel free to share anything, any reflections, anything you'd like held in this sacred space. And silence is also a sharing, so no pressure. Let you be entertained by Yoshi here. She found a new instrument.
Sabina?
Showing us. Yes.
Hi, Sabina.
Oh, Julie, hello, love.
Hi, love. So sweet. Oh my goodness.
You are.
Those horses, I swear.
Yeah,
Just want to reach out and hug them.
I know. You are. They feel it.
Mm. So the one thing I noticed, which I had not connected within all the communications, was the idea of separation and ultimate the illusion of separation.
Mm.
And that there was something, I believe in each one of them, if not definitely a few of them. And it's only in that separation of the one self that we have that sense of worthiness or
Yeah.
lack thereof.
Right.
Or that we even question it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was it I'm sorry, your black horse.
Yeah, Travis.
Travis. It was something he said that, yes, of course, that even, I'm thinking too much about it now. I'm too in my head with it. But
Was it the lifeline? Are you thinking of the lifeline?
yes.
That was, yeah. Okay, so that was, I think that might have been Khalil. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but the lifelines. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To the illusion where
Mm-hmm.
worthlessness is part of that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I think you understand what I'm saying. So I think that's really interesting. So that's something I can really take for myself when I'm having that not enoughness feeling, or when I can fall prey to that.
Yes.
To really, just look at, okay, where is that? And really really dive into the illusion of that. And yeah, that's going to be very helpful for me to reflect on.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I like the way you say fall prey to.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because fall prey to begins to go into that whole victim kind of separation again. And that's a whole paradigm in and of itself.
Yes.
Predator,
Yep.
prey, you know, in the physical realm does appear that way. And then in the unitive field, there's another seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another experience.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you for your, I don't want to use this cliché-ly, but it is an amplification when you speak, you know, of your experience. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sabina.
Thank you, Julie. Let's breathe in and honor this amplification. Feel free to speak more, Julie. It's not to end your sharing. It's simply to put some exclamations around it. Who else feels called to voice something or nothing?
I would like to share something.
And hello.
Yeah, hello. I loved, well, love all of it. The beginning when the horses were laughing, everyone, all the animals were just laughing, and I could feel the vibrations. This is what's happened in my world this year.
Oh.
And I can't think of a better description, but I love it. And it's with tenderness and it's with love.
Yes.
Which is the only way I believe.
Yes.
And just thank you. Just thank you, Sabina, and all these beautiful souls here, and those precious, precious horse beings.
Yes.
All animals, even down to the teeny little ones.
Yes, spiders. I heard you bring in Spider.
Yes, Spider, my Spidey. I love Spidey. You know, is so loving. I thank you.
I thank you. Yes, when you were speaking, Anne, I got the a better understanding of what Yoshi was doing with her playing the instrument of the hammock here, because it was really quite incessant, you know, and exaggerated, and it was the laughter vibrating us all, shaking the foundation of the hammock.
Yes. It certainly shook my foundation. Thank you, Sabina.
Thank you. Thank you, Anne.
Hello, everyone.
Glenda Ray, hello. Hello.
I feel like they want us to laugh now.
Yeah, exactly. I can laugh now too without coughing.
So let's laugh.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh. laugh and laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, laughter is the best medicine.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it really vibrates everything.
Connect
It's
with
such
morphic field connections of laughter and the laughing Buddha and the laughing animal collective.
Yes. Yes. Hmm. And laughing at ourselves with such love.
You silly humans, haven't you figured it out yet?
Yes, they're so patient. They're so patient.
I have a trainer who tells me Zen has a great sense of humor, and I'm still learning how to see it.
Ah.
I don't see what she sees, but I still have so much to fathom. How does a horse show his sense of humor in his behaviors? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because to me, he's a rock.
Mm.
And humor, I don't know. But I did feel that shaking. And I felt he was shaking the rainbow. That's what Travis was doing.
Mm.
The colors were striking to me as he was playing the hammock.
Yeah.
And it was like a rainbow being like shaking.
Oh, I see. Right.
And the sound came through too. And it brought me outside because I've felt so much from this environment right outside my door, the woodlot and the trees that have been with me since I moved here like 3 years ago, and they're so standing there for me. And the animals are around, but I am too near the highway and there aren't very many wild things come around. Birds right now, they've been wonderful, but the trees and feeling that we're rooted from here to my new place, wherever that is. There are tree roots that are communicating with each other and they're helping. I know they are helping.
Oh, that's true.
And yeah, I've been mousy. I've been paying attention to all the close-up little things, trying to clean and sort and organize to get ready to move. So being reminded of hawk and of eagle as mouse became eagle was very important. I'm glad I came. I'm glad I made it today, because there is that large view that must be taken.
Yes.
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 Yes. So thank you so much. That was a wonderful recap. I had missed a few this month, so I'm glad to hear them again.
Oh, thank you. Good, good. I felt called to just from top to bottom go back again. I'm so glad that you're here with us, Willow, at this really, auspicious threshold, because I know how deeply you're connected to the land that you're on, and how courageous it is to know that something that you can't see awaits.
Yes. last week I was with my family instead of being here. Often on Sunday I'm with family doing things, but the outcome of that was an immense, immense transformation from a reflection they gave me of the experiences I've had in my life where I did this very thing only at a different place and different way, but I came away knowing I could walk away from all of this with nothing and still have my life in my hands, and it would be good. And a part of me remembers my youth when I did that and felt so free.
Yeah.
And loved that I could be on the road because I let everything go. So
Yes.
that reminder's been really helpful to me.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, to re-examine what we see as being so solid.
Yes. Yes, your intro was perfect.
That's
The
what
veils,
you gave me.
the solidity and the veils and the illusions.
Yeah.
They're really strong, though.
Yeah.
They have a strong, and there's a purpose for our being in form. And so
Yes.
we hold it, but we hold it in a conditioned way. That word came again and again to my mind, conditioned.
Right.
And not the way that the earth is holding form all the time, too. So we are that. The earth and my heart are one. Helps me get every moment that I feel a little lost. If I sing something and remember that.
Yes. Well, we will sing with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for singing.
Sing whenever something is hard or whenever something is troubling. If you just sing a little song about it, it's all new. It's all different.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it changes the vibrational field and frequency.
Yeah. Vibration is all. So, and the horses love it too.
Oh, they're all about vibration.
Yes.
All the animals are.
Yes.
We
Thank
are.
you for your encouragement.
Oh, Willow. Thank you for yours.
I love that we're online and I can do this from wherever.
Yeah.
And I will. And I am.
Yes, exactly. There's a freedom in that, isn't there? It's beautiful.
There is. And your talk about how online was very, I don't know, I can't remember the words, but it was just as connected as anything else. I loved it, Sabina. That was,
Yeah. Oh, good.
that was really what I resonated with that very much, because I know there are a lot of questions about, well, what are we doing with all of this? You know,
Right, right.
it depends on what you do with it. That's all. It depends on what you do with it. And you're using these vibrations and these waves of communication to
Yes.
unite the world and awaken the world and
Yes, we are.
and love the world. And
Yes, we are.
I'm so glad we are.
We are. That's what we've chosen. That's what we've chosen.
You got some funny horses. Your horses, they have sense of humor. I don't know about,
Yeah.
but I'll find out. I'm
It's
finding
not
out.
hard to see.
I will let you know when I figure it out.
Okay, well, I just want to say rocks have senses of humor too, so just ask a rock and you'll learn more.
Okay. There. That will be a really good one.
I know, because I know you talk with them, so they'll tell you all about it.
I get it. Okay. Thanks.
Mwah. Yes, it's a razor's edge, you know, between taking it very seriously and not seriously at all at the same time. But not taking ourselves seriously. our separate selves series. That's a really good one. I don't know about you, but I have the funniest separate self. Just the funniest, most laughable, funny. I love to laugh at my separate self when I'm not crying. Great. Yoshi is now doing something very funny, and she's discovering how to scratch her hind end on the end of the hammock. It's just like an acupressure point, you see? And she's just discovered it. Here, I'll show you. It's very amusing. Smart. It's like a back scratcher.
It also feels like grounding.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. Well, beloveds, let's take a breath together. Grounding into the groundless together. May this awakening within us ripple out. How can it not? Thank you to the beloved animals, not separate from self, to one another, endless. Thank you. Thank us. Thank you, us. We'll see you next week. We'll have our first of the month gathering, which is open to the public. So feel free to spread it with anyone you feel might resonate and welcome them in. And then we'll continue our intimate diving together in this alchemical field for the rest of the month on a new ancient knowing. I'm going to say thank you to each horse. Spend a little moment of communing and feel free to stay and breathe with us or breathe away and flow at your own rhythm where you need to be. Love to you all. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. Beautiful Taz, thank you for your message, my wise, beautiful friend. And come over and see Travis in the shade. And say hello to Teddy. Teddy will be integrated soon, now that it's drying out.